The following program is intended for a mature listening audience. Graphic and explicit language may be heard at times. The views expressed and opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of this station or sponsors. Listeners are advised that neither the station nor owners and agents will be held liable for the content of this program. Rebroadcast, redistributed, or reused without the express written permission without the host or producer is not allowed. You are listening to Family Spirit International.
Hey, it's another day with Family Spirit International. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing tonight, everybody? I got some good awards for us tonight. Okay, here's my first one. Chicken pot pies take about 6 minutes to microwave. A friend of my kids put one in for 3 minutes because then it said done sooner. She ate a few bites and threw it away because it was old. Okay, this is
Ooh.
my funny favorite one. I had a coworker with his mouth, breathed in his own breath back into his mouth, and was perplexed why his voice didn't change because he thought it was helium. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody,
Those are kind of rough.
goodness, we go.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, that whole set, there was some more in there that was like nasty. I could have read one of them, but I'm like, no, that's even too gross for our show.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
that's gross. All right. So last time I talked to you guys, I was headed to MassCon.
yeah. How'd you
Yeah, and
like that?
it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I had no idea about how interesting and how historic it would be. I always thought, oh, Salem, Salem. Well, uh, um, uh, Plymouth is where I was, Plymouth,
Oh, yeah.
and it's extremely haunted.
I believe it.
And I didn't realize that it was as haunted as it was. We were in this historic building, and it was the site of a massacre and horrible, horrible. I don't even know what to say. It was a deceit, lots of deception.
Oh, I'm sure.
Imagine inviting a friend over for dinner or someone that you want to be friends with and poisoning them. When they leave, they all of a sudden realize, oh crap, I'm sick. And he died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was an indigenous gentleman that was sent, uh, message, hey, come over. We'd like to have you for dinner. Well, he never left. And not only that, but his wife and children were sold into slavery,
Goodness.
and they put his head on a pike and left it for over 20 years. Yeah, Becky's listening. She says, yeah, the energy there was crazy. Um, Becky had something really interesting happen. Have you seen these videos about trees that can walk?
No.
Oh, Lord. There's trees that can walk in these things, and they're from South America, and they've got really long, spindly legs, okay? And they're supposedly able to kind of move about because of the amount of water that's, basically sucked in by all those tendrily
Okay, I've
roots.
seen those. Yeah.
Okay, well, I've also seen videos of trees just booking it, man, just running, and
God, how you,
it's like a drone shot. It's a drone shot, and here they go. It's like, what in the world? You can just see this tree taking off. So
oh,
it's been crazy. I've been looking at these things, but I bring that up because during the Plymouth event, there was a tree that had some supernatural activity connected. and
Oh
Becky
wow.
was ground zero on that. Yeah, the energy there was absolutely insane. She ended up going to Salem as well. So thank you for
Oh
watching
okay.
tonight, Becky. Everybody, thank you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give up all the info, Becky, because it's your story to tell. And I'll let you come on the show sometime and tell it. I don't want to give it all away.
Yep.
So we have some great people coming on the show tonight. We've got Leslie J. Gonzalez and her husband, Andrew. And Andrew has 303 Paranormal. That's a tongue tangler. 303 Paranormal. And Leslie has um, All Things Supernatural. All things paranormal, and they are a
Right on.
dynamic duo. I knew they were going to get married the instant I saw them. I mean, the love
Huh.
was all over there, and
Right on.
I think it's just let's just bring them in. Let's just bring them in. There they are. Hey guys,
Hi.
I got a little bit of an echo. It wasn't there till just now.
What if I've got it?
Okay, Becky.
I've got it.
Yep.
Maybe it's is it
Oh,
better?
please.
We're just
It's on
gonna
our end.
talk.
We can't figure out why.
Let me go ahead and bring Christopher on too, because he had a really bad echo as well last week. Like really bad. He sounded fine just now. Let's see.
Hello?
Hey, Christopher.
How do I sound?
A slight echo. And Brandon, our producer.
It's getting
Hi.
feedback, Drew and Leslie on your side. I don't know if you have your
Do you guys have to show up on more than one device?
No, we only have one screen open, and that's this one.
Just our laptop.
Okay, well, it sounds good from you guys.
You guys sound good to us too.
Okay. Well, let's just keep
No
I
rolling.
can hear
echo
the
from
echo.
here either.
Well, you guys look amazing.
Thank you.
Wawa
Haven't seen you
kumquat.
for a while.
Wawa kumquat. Who's that? Somebody says hi. Hello, Mike. Oh, that's for
No.
Brandon. Okay. So, welcome to the show. I'm so glad to have you. I want you to know,
Andrew.
when we were at the Belmont Inn a couple years ago, and we were doing a flashlight session, and you stepped in to do the flashlight set, that the entity turned that light off and on for us for close to 3 hours. I said 3 years, 3 hours. Do you remember that? And I have you on my YouTube channel talking to the entity that's turning the light off and on. So many people have complimented that whole session. I mean, it was a group effort, but you were right there in the middle, and it looks fantastic. So thank you for letting me put that out there with you on there. For those of you watching,
Sure.
look for 303 Paranormal, Andrew Gonzalez, and please, smash the subscribe button. And also for his beautiful wife, Leslie, Leslie J. Your hair's gotten so long. You got
Thank
it all
you.
pulled back. It looks lovely. So
Thank you.
these are my really great friends. I just loved Leslie from the moment I met her, and she complimented me on a ring, and I took it off my finger and gave it to her, Blaine. It was meant to be hers.
I know.
Yeah, and she's got it on. Oh,
Yeah.
I told you she doesn't take it off.
oh, that means so much. Thank
Good for
you.
you.
Yeah, yeah. We had a great time at the Belmont, Blaine. When you come in a couple of weeks, I can't wait to take you by there. You've got to feel the place.
I can't
Leslie,
wait.
Andrew, you can tell Blaine and everybody watching. The Belmont is where the Civil War started, where the South succeeded from the Union, and where it surrendered. So it's extremely historic. I don't know how many presidents have stayed there. And
It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
yeah.
It's cool.
the owners that
Right
had
on.
acquired the place whenever you guys came. There were a bunch of people that were YouTubers there. So many great people. I enjoyed every bit of the time I was with everybody. But they have had several paranormal conferences there. Um, Ryan Buell, he had one there, and then there was the Upstate Spirit Conference.
We
So
had the most action in the lobby with
yeah,
the spirits and through the spirit box, and they were telling us things about our own past and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Right on.
So
the funniest thing that happened to me there, and this is hilarious. I was there with a guy that had worked with taps. And so he was there beside my husband. We're all talking. And Jeff is a singer and sort of a slapstick kind of comedian. And the guy that was talking to us in spirit, he was also a comedian that had come through the Opera House, which is next door to the Belmont Inn in Abbeville, South Carolina. And he had come through and he said, "Oh, I was just dying to meet you." And he just thought he was hilarious. He laughed at his own jokes the hardest. And he came up on the SLS camera. We would ask him things and he would raise his hand up and down for yes and no, things like that. And he was just a lot of fun. Um,
Right
I
on.
haven't had anything negative happen there. I hadn't had anything. Did Leslie? Did you see the wandering woman in black that's in the widow in the black dress?
I did see her, didn't I?
yeah, she did.
Before we arrived there, when we were driving, I channel, and he videoed it. I have proof, or it ain't real. And I was seeing things before going to places I've never been, and and I told my husband, so there's a woman there dressed in black, like I can see her, and I'm driving and seeing this.
I
But when
know.
we were there, I didn't physically see her, but I could feel her presence. And
Yeah.
we
Mhm.
were more focused on what the spirits were telling us from our past life. We almost forgot we were there investigating the actual Belmont. We do plan on going
Yeah.
back
Oh,
some
please
point.
tell me. We'll go and hang out with you. I'll invite the class. I teach at a technical college here in Greenwood. Blaine helps me teach, and my husband he's wonderful. I wouldn't be able to do these classes without him. I've got several people listening that are students as well, but we go there often to have our graduations. This time we're having our graduation at a building that was connected to the funeral home in our town, and there's tunnels connected to the basement of the store that goes underneath the roads into the other tunnels in Greenwood, South Carolina, where I live. And we're going to
Nice.
do some fun stuff, man. It's going to be great.
Right on.
Yeah, we also did have a lot of stuff going on in the bar room area and the kitchen area. We kept hearing things moving
Yeah.
around in the kitchen, remember?
Yeah, the rattling.
Like they were rattling the pots and pans in the kitchen.
We
Yeah.
walked in there, nothing was seen, nothing was on the floor. It
Yeah.
was
Well, I just want you to
wild.
know they had a new thing happen in the kitchen because I thought that was happening at that time. The ice machine door was up because they were still using it, filling up the galley and everything. Well, the ice cream scoop shot out of the ice cream. It's like a scooper. It's not an ice cream scoop, but
The
it's
ice
got a
scoop,
big
yeah.
handle on it, ice scoop, and it was in the ice machine, and it flew out, hit the
Nice.
floor with such force that the handle to this stainless steel piece of utensil broke.
Jeez.
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" Because there's no reason for anything to be shooting out of the ice machine. And there was some speculation where the door was even closed on the ice machine or not. It's not like a typical ice machine where things fall. It's one with the silver door. So,
No, that's crazy because we're both chefs, so
oh,
we use those same scoops every day at work with those
Yeah.
doors and the ice machines.
well, you know what I'm talking
And
about then. So,
those things are heavy too. They're not light.
Yeah.
mm-mm. So funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, they're very, very heavy.
Blaine
Yeah. I was just
Abraham
like,
followed Andrew all over this place. I mean, he
oh,
couldn't go
really?
anywhere without Abraham right behind him. It was sweet.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
Now, Lee
we had
told
a
me you
lot of
guys are
good
from New
activity,
Orleans.
good action there at the Belmont. It was pretty cool.
But there was this one incident. We did have a negative experience, but it was outside. We wandered off with Lou Rock and Lucid to the abandoned house, which is like 2 streets over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when we came back, Andrew was in a really bad mood, just angry, 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 angry.
yeah,
And
I
I was at the
remember that.
point where when I didn't know he was by you guys and I didn't know what was happening. And I'm like, okay, I need the key to my room because I just need to go in there and cool off for a minute. And so that house, that's not far from there.
It attacked me and something attached to me and just took over my everything. It was crazy.
When we went back to the room, he and I were actually fighting. And I was like, okay, you're going to call your mom right now and tell her to bring you back home. And kid you not, we're standing like right here, kind of going in front of each other. And we hear like a staff just hits the ground really hard, boom. And our floor vibrated a little bit.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we
Wow.
looked at each other, and he said, I'm getting a feeling that was my ancestors that just doesn't want us to split up. And I'm like, okay,
Oh.
well, we need to sit down and talk about everything that's going on because this whole situation is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, David. Yeah, we just I told her I was like, that was my ancestor. This sounded like the chief's staff had been smashed into the middle of us. And he's
I
like, y'all need to
remember
shut
you
up.
telling us this. I remember that because you came outside and you were just like, what just happened? He was just very shocked. So, wow, that's crazy.
It wasn't scary. It was more like, holy
Shocking.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now look, you guys are married. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yep.
happened in 2 different occasions, but I can't remember the second one.
I think, yeah, it also happened in the bathroom as well, I think.
No, it wasn't there.
Wasn't it?
It was 2 different locations.
Oh, no, you're right. It was two different
We
locations.
started saying that we needed to be better protective of ourselves when going into a supernatural place of, the unknown. You never know what you're walking into, whether it be good,
Yeah.
bad, or what's there waiting, and you're your own poltergeist as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah,
So,
I've never had so much poltergeist activity, like, or seen as much as I've caught on film. And it's not like, you know, that stuff you see on either TikTok or whatever when all the plates are flying
Yeah.
out of the
yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever, but it's more like walking around, rocks were being thrown at me. Or at my
Hmm.
team actually, not or at me. Bricks being thrown, doors being slammed. I have a bunch of doors being opened and closed on film.
Hmm.
Tons of shadow figures. I don't know. I just feel like every time I go on native land, also is when everything gets crazy.
It
You know,
always does.
let me tell you
Yeah.
the story of a guy that haunts downtown
Sorry,
Abbeville.
drink too fast.
No problem. I'm drinking lemon water tonight. I just been like drinking water like it's my job, and I've done
Yeah.
several
I'm under
investigations
the
lately.
weather, so
I wondered about that. I'm sorry you
Healing
feeling
sick.
bad. Yeah, we're
that's okay. I'm feeling a lot better now than I was 2 days ago and last night. So
oh man.
my voice is a little funky. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hear
You're
that. I
fine.
hope you feel better soon. There was a gentleman that was a black guy, a black man, that owned a pretty large plantation. And he was buying his cotton seeds and other vegetable seeds. And people were saying they'd rather throw their seeds in the lake than they would sell it to him. And he just went ahead and got his stuff. And somebody said something really, really ugly, very vulgar. I don't remember what it was. I don't know that it's ever really known what it was. But he cold cocked the guy that disrespected him. And that started a chain reaction. And there were about 200 people that showed up at his plantation. Excuse me, his plantation, and they ended up hanging him in his own property.
Wow.
And it's
Wow.
not far from the Main Street. And his family just ran. They just disappeared. And what happened was horrible. It's part of history, but I can feel him there, and I can feel that he's very, very angry, um, as he should be. I mean, what an awful thing to happen. And of course, we're past that now in history, but that doesn't mean this guy's not hurting, or at least the property in that area where he was on the market. Actually, the part of the market was connected to the side of the Belmont Inn. So where he would have gotten the seed would have been in that area. So,
Yeah,
but he was hung on his own property.
that's crazy. We had so much stuff happen at the Belmont Inn. I just can't even remember. There was so
Yeah, I'll have
much.
to look up the man's name, but I really feel like the area you were at, whenever you felt like something was connected to you, I feel like it's probably some of the angry mob, because I feel like I never go out there without feeling like I'm being watched. So, um,
Yeah.
we got a fella here. His login was Resneck. I'm gonna assume. Okay, he said he's a paranormal investigator and he's a enrolled member of the Stockbridge Munsee tribe. And he said that every time he does investigations, he does have ancestors reach out to him, as well, Blaine as well, and myself. So yeah, so it's not just us,
You're not
Blaine. It's not
alone.
just
Well, no,
yeah.
Definitely
Oh,
not alone. He had
because hey,
what, different
the
languages.
Blaine, what did you say, hun?
oh, I said I make friends with all the tribes wherever I'm at. Always share
Yeah.
tobacco with them, smoke with them, get them on my side, and now they stay with me. And they'll, if I need them to call on anything, they'll come help me. So I always rely on my Native American spirits. They're wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Andrew's got some that are ones leading the way, and then he's got others letting him know this is the way you should
I
go.
know. I know.
So
They're
he's like,
talking to me.
he's got some that are a little bossy, just a little bit. But then he's got some that just love Leslie, and
Yeah,
they were,
they do.
wanting her.
They do.
They were pulling for Leslie. So, oh, and he said he's got the same. He said, so do I. That's so nice.
Yep.
Yep.
Now,
And so,
Leslie, they do like you a lot. So you can call upon ancestors as well, because they'll come right to your side, because you've already seen that they know that they
Right.
like you. So
she's got lots
It's
of
funny.
abilities.
You see, my
Yeah.
ancestors like
So
my psychic, you can see.
it's funny
uh-huh.
because
I'm looking for my
my
cards. I'll be right
first
back.
marriage, well, my first marriage ended in 2014.
Yeah.
And then I was in a bad relationship for a year and a half. And when I broke that
Goodness.
off, I went single. And during my 5 years of being single before I got with Andrew, I said, I want to find my twin flame. I did
Yeah.
meditation for the very first time with kava kava root, and
Nice.
I mixed it with like it's like a milk, like almost a milk, because I can't
Yeah.
have coffee, so it was like a milk with a little bit of
Oh,
coffee, almost like the
yeah.
frappes you
Yeah.
shake up if they're cold and put the kava in there. I didn't know, and I remember sitting in a dark room. And I'm like, okay, let me focus on my past life. My past life. That's all I was like, past life, show me my past life, show me my past life. And in that past life, and when I woke up out of them, and I was sitting Indian style, legs crossed, my hands, in the and it was weird because I saw that I was surrounded by natives. And when I was working at the spa at the time, yeah, I was the boss. I had the key. I stayed there. Well, after I cleaned up and everybody was gone, and I would hear through my mind's eye drums. I'm like, and it wasn't
Yes.
intimidating, but I was like, okay, this is loud. I can hear you. I see you.
Yeah.
Why is this appearing to me? Because we have a teensy weeny pinch of native. I'm more surprisingly, I am Scottish and Irish,
Yeah, that shows so
and
Yeah.
strong in
You're
you.
getting the Celtic,
um, I'm
Celtic
very
as well.
Scottish.
Yep.
My last name. And so when I did my meditation, in the meditation, I was shown that I was born in the 17 or married in 1767
Hmm.
to a Native American was my first husband, and he
Yep.
was had a bow and arrow right above his heart, and it was shot straight through him, and they couldn't in the meditation they couldn't break the arrow because if it did, it'd make him bleed a lot
Yes.
quicker.
Hmm.
So the tribe ended up just letting him die peacefully like 2 hours later. And I remember in the meditation, it was a big, like almost like a river or a creek, and I still see it. And the word Bacchus came up. There's a few other words that came up. They're in my phone, and it was more across the states of like Oregon and
Hmm.
Wisconsin, like
Yeah.
the Northwest. And um, when I met um Andrew, when I met Drew, the first thing I asked him when we came home from our collab is, I know this is weird, but do you have any? I know he's really tattooed, but throughout the tattoos, do you have any kind of mole, and above your heart in that area on your chest? He's like, no, I don't think so. And he takes a picture, sends it to me. I said, you do. You do. And supposedly that's where you passed away from your past life. And then when we went to the Belmont, that's where the spirits kept coming through, coming through, that we were married like 5 or 6 times in our past life and we had
You
kids.
remember, Latriana?
I do.
Even she said it was like 6 or 7 times or something like that.
Yes, I
And we
remember
had
clearly.
kids.
And we had kids and all that.
Yep. Do you
And
you
this
want to know?
life,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's okay. And then this life, when we first got together, this is both of our second marriage. We both have 3 kids apiece, but from our ex. And we can't have any together because, well, I nipped that in the bud after my third one. And I said, well, maybe we weren't supposed to have kids because of whatever happened in our past life and we didn't know. And my mom, explained all this to my mom. My mom's like, you've always had like a Native American, around you and whatnot. So I always felt connected, but I never know what it meant until I got with him.
Oh,
That's
wow,
wonderful.
that's amazing. There's a little girl. Blaine, you remember Jenny Montgomery on the farm.
Very
Um,
well.
we were doing an investigation at her place, and the property had been, um, well, there was some contamination. Let me just put it that way, of things, and because she has psychic ability as well as her children, um, the her presence kicked this thing off that had been dormant, for centuries. And so anyway, we're there dealing with that. And her little girl came, and I was sitting, like you said, Indian style. And I was sitting in the floor. She came, climbed up in my lap. She fit right in between my legs crossed. You know how like that. She just curled up, like a little kitten almost. She was older than a toddler, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And she told me about she didn't look like me. And I said, "Well, I know that, baby." She said, "No, before. I didn't look like you, but I lived like you." And she started telling me about these marks she had on her face, and her mother and I were trying to figure it out. We spent months. We had Blaine on the phone. We were trying to figure it out. Finally, her mother was on the third night of not getting sleep because it just escalated. And Olivia was Olive Oatman. And I think that it's really crazy that Olivia is her name now, and it was Olive before. Olive
Hmm.
Oatman was actually adopted by indigenous family, and when she married, she had the
Well,
tattoos
more kidnapped, but
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
And she remembered playing guitar, and she just picked up a guitar and played it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I have
Wow.
goosebumps.
yeah. The
That's
things
cool.
that she
Now,
remembered.
one of the things I want to tell both of you. Okay, you've had several lives together. All right, the earliest one to take on both of you were Clovis, and they were here before the Native Americans were. 12 to 20,000 years. So you are like some of the original Americans where your lineage
The
comes from
Clovis.
on that side. Now, on the other side, with your Irish side, you go way deep back with the Celtics for the Scottish and
Yes, she
Irish.
does.
Um,
I
goes back
rarely see her,
way,
Blaine,
yeah,
like she
I know,
is. I see you with
I
her with
know.
her red hair, and it was in these
Yeah,
curls.
that's what I was about to say. Yep. Yeah, but you have that I can count in my head right now. What's been shown to me is there's at least 30 times that you two have been together so far.
You can trust Blaine because there's things that he's been able to tell my
Yeah,
husband and I that
goosebumps.
we had never told anybody. So, for those of you listening, the Clovis people, they were in the Western North Americas, and they're the Blackwater. They're in like New Mexico and Colorado, that area, and they were the first human inhabitants who created a wide culture here, ancestors,
Mhm.
and they. Okay, somebody's here from Athens, and they're talking about that as well. So I just think
Well,
that's
I am
fascinating,
from
Blaine. There's things that Blaine has told me about. Oh, yeah, that's right. You are from that area, aren't you?
I'm from Denver, Colorado, babe.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
A lot of natives there.
Yeah, we've
Natives
got a
there.
library there with our last name on it and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my claim to fame.
What?
My claim to fame is on my French side. I was related to Louis XIV. The worst king that uh, France ever
Oh,
had. So yeah, I get the outlaws and the in-laws and the outcasts.
Yeah, well, my cousin led the Crusade for Justice in the 60s with the Black Panthers and the Brown Berets and led the Rasa movement from Colorado all throughout New Mexico,
Yep.
Mexico, California, all throughout the Southwest, and with Cesar Chavez. So that's why our family name's kind of known and stuff like that. There's a wall in the history museum dedicated to the things he
Right
did
on.
and him and all that stuff. So,
Pretty cool, man. That's real cool.
yep.
But
His
so
name was
I know now.
Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez.
Oh, nice. Okay, I've heard that name before.
Yes. Yes, Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez. You can look him up. They got a lot on him. He wrote the poem I Am Joaquin. It's really deep. It's a good poem if you want to read it.
Right on. I definitely will.
so you guys have something in common. Um, being from New Orleans area in Louisiana, that's Blaine's family.
Yep. My whole
Which
mom's
part?
side, my whole mother's side is all Louisiana, all coon asses. I've got uncles that I've never understood a word they said because they are so Cajun.
Mm.
And um, my uncle John, I don't think I've understood a word he said in 58 years. So, but yeah.
That thick accent.
Yeah, I want to go
Oh,
there. I would love
New
to
Orleans
see
is
it.
so awesome. Now, where are y'all chefs at in New Orleans or around the area?
In the French Quarter.
Oh, right on. Where in the French Quarter? Because I'll definitely come see you guys.
We're at Doris Metropolitan.
I know where it is. Yeah,
Right by
And, what is it?
St. Louis Cathedral.
Yeah,
St.
Charters
Louis.
and
Okay. Yep.
Wilkinson.
Right on.
I'm the butcher for the restaurant.
Oh
Oh, so
wow, that's
you've got
nice.
the good steaks then. All right. Got to make friends with you, man, because that's the ones I like to get.
Yeah, man. We've got everything from $90 steaks to $1,000 steaks. So whatever you want to
Woo!
eat, come get it.
Okay.
That
I
sounds
know I
fantastic.
know I can never afford $1,000 steak, but how big is $1,000 steak? I'm just curious now.
It's
It's about an inch and a quarter Japanese Wagyu New York
That's why.
strip.
Oh,
That's why.
That's why it's like about like that. It's a nice big steak, but we have them for like you can get a 10-ounce Wagyu strip for like $240. So
yeah,
still
you've got
expensive.
Y'all got
people
some.
are people are talking about the food in New Orleans. You got people going crazy.
Yeah, we've been cooking
I know,
here
Lee.
for a while. That's all I've done since I've been here. So
well, he's technically
Right
a
on.
butcher.
Yeah.
yeah, she's the cook. I'm the butcher.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I have a younger brother. This is a master chef. He works at let me remember. It's a golf club outside of Atlanta. That's like where all the
Hmm.
baseball players go. They have a PGA tournament that play there. Yeah, he's the head chef for the whole restaurant that they have. So yeah, he's very high in demand. They'll actually hire him for private parties because he can cook so well.
Yeah, I've done a lot with my butchery. Been in magazines and USA Today and on the news, and
Right on, man.
actually, I'm actually being filmed this Thursday for what is it?
I thought it was Tuesday.
For Tuesday?
The
Maybe it's tomorrow. I don't know. I'm being filmed for something for the news and for New Orleans restaurants and
yeah, to market the restaurant.
Oh my
Right on.
gosh. I'm ready to get in the car and just go to
I know.
see these
Just
come
stop
on
guys.
by.
now, baby.
Just stop me. Just stop by and get me. I know the way to New
11,
Orleans. So
8 out 9.
It's only a 9-hour drive from there to here.
5 hours from
From
my
when
house.
we
So
He's from Alabama, so he's even
Oh,
closer.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
check this out though, real
yeah.
quick. When we left the was it South Carolina?
Yeah.
To drive back home, we I swear, I don't even know if I remember if I told you this or not, but she don't really want to know or say or think what it was, but I'm telling you, there was a UFO following us from 2 in the
Wouldn't
morning
surprise
until
me.
about 3 in the morning. I don't know what it was. There was only one cloud in the sky. It kept coming out and checking us out, and then we would go back behind it. It would come out. I have pictures on my phone, on my Instagram. You can see them.
Okay. I was actually on the phone with
Right.
Blaine,
Let me
and I
tell
said,
you
"Oh
why
my
they're
God,
following you. Oh, go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
it's okay." Remember whenever I was on the phone with you, and I said, "Oh my God, I see a UFO," and you were telling me what you were about to tell them. Go ahead.
Now, one of the things that I'm being told right now is the UFO, the reason it followed you to, because it picked up on your energies. Your frequencies were um, productive to what they needed. So they were drawn to your energy, which is, I can tell, even long distance that we're just talking
You.
over the internet,
They want you.
that I can feel the energy coming off of both of you. That's what they were looking for. Is there our frequencies. They look for it because they found Lee, they found myself, they found you, and we've noticed a lot of people that have gifts
Hmm.
or have ancestral pass downs of
Yep.
Mhm.
gifts that's what they're looking for, because when they first started coming here, that's what they had was just natural people whose energy resonated with the frequency they're on. So yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy scary. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this thing's following us. Like it really was.
I've got a picture I'll send you of an
Yeah.
investigation we did and what popped up. We're in this old ancient cemetery. I mean, super old. And we look up and there's a UFO doing its little dance in the sky. Pretty crazy. Hey, Chris Sanders, what's up?
Hey, Chris.
Yeah,
Hi,
this
everybody.
thing was
Thanks for watching.
changing
Hey,
shape.
David.
Yeah, it was changing shape and everything. It went from
Did
like
it
a
change colors
humanoid
as well?
shape into like a lightning shape, like into
Oh,
a worm. Like it was going into all kinds of shapes.
It's
oh,
going from
wow.
one side of the car to the other, just doing
Oh
this.
my
Yeah, I was
gosh.
That
bouncing
is
like
so
that.
cool.
How
And I can
close
tell
did
you
it
this.
get to the car?
Not very.
It stayed its distance. It was distance, but you could see it. Like I saw it out of the driver window, and then it go on his side, and you could see it. And every time we thought we were going to get close and closer, it'd move a little bit away. And then all of a sudden on Google, everyone started seeing reporting UFO sightings, UFO sightings. Even Lou Rock, everyone was taking pictures. It was like they just all started coming out.
And then the second
Yeah.
time I saw him in Colorado Springs, I was filming them, and then I had posted this
Ooh,
stuff up to my Instagram and stuff, and somehow it all got taken down and taken out of my phone.
Men in Black.
wow.
Like Google took it
Yeah.
off. Like all the pictures, all the videos I posted were all
Mhm.
gone.
I
Yeah,
can guarantee that
there's
was ordered by one of those three-letter government agencies.
That's what I told her. They're
Take your pick
watching.
at which one. Oh God, are they
Yeah.
ever? I think it's funny
getting
when they
better
watch me
now.
because yeah, I always think it's funny when they watch me because I always talk back to them. Hope you enjoy the show. There's gonna be a full moon out tonight.
Or you know how they pick up your algorithm when you talk through your phone, you'll be talking about buying a new TV. Next thing you know, you got all these
Boom,
TV ads in your phone.
there it is.
That's right. Yeah,
See,
those
I tried to
algorithms
get
happen.
smart with that. I said, okay, I want to win the lottery. Pick up that one on an algorithm and tell me how to win it. That would be nice.
Yeah, that one's a little
You
harder.
don't need to know what I ate for supper. You don't need to know my bathroom schedule. You don't need to know none of that stuff. Mind your own
That's
business.
mind your business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah,
really.
we'd love for you guys to come down here and film some stuff. There's plenty of places to film here.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
Or
know.
we meet in the middle in Georgia. We
Or
want to go to
yeah,
Georgia.
we can. There's also Brushy Mountain. I know Jamie at Brushy Mountain. We haven't been there yet. I mean, there's just
Oh,
tons of places.
Jamie,
Georgia.
Brushy Mountain, not cemetery, the prison, Brushy
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Brushy Creek Prison. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Brushy Mountain Prison.
Yeah, awesome place. I've been there, but I didn't film there. And there's lots and lots of, believe it or not, besides the fact that it's haunted, even though they didn't have like they didn't hang people. It wasn't a place where hardened criminals that are going to be executed where they stayed. But that doesn't mean there weren't, plenty deaths because the prisoners in that jail worked the mines. They worked the mines, and there's a lot of deaths with that. And a
Yeah.
lot of people died, and then there were a lot of illnesses that went through. So, and the prison is super chilly. I mean, in the mountains, they have to close it in the wintertime because it's just so cold. And but then there's Bigfoot sightings reported in the mountains around it, as well as UFOs. I don't know what's up with Jack Carey. Explained this to me. He's one of the best out there about cryptids, and he was explaining there's a piggyback theory. Okay, and meaning that if you see or have an episode like with a cryptid of some sort, a chupacabra or a Bigfoot or whatever, it won't be long before something else like an alien will show up or whatever. And the guys that are on uh Sky, what is it? Skinwalker Ranch. Okay, the
Mhm.
guys that are there, there's a guy that's actually filming with them, and he's staying it's like 5 hours from where he lives. They had an experience there, a supernatural cryptid experience, and 5 hours drive. His wife actually had the same experience at her house, but she thought she was just overly tired. But it was a dog man, which is, for those of you watching, a dog man is basically a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw this thing. She was washing dishes, and she looked out through her windows, and she saw some deer running off. And she looked, and she saw a lichen under a tree, and it was looking at her, and she was looking at it. And she's like, oh my God, when she went around and made sure all the doors were locked and pulled all the curtains and blinds and everything. She just, she said that I couldn't have seen that. So she went on to sleep, and the kids did too. And when they woke up the next day, she was taking lunch to the kids in the game room, and they were actually watching the lichen through the window. They said that he came all the way up to the window watching them, and they thought it was a man in a suit for a long time, and then they were screaming. She came running in there. She had all their plates in her hand. And when she went in there and all that was going on, they ended up packing up and going somewhere else for a little while. I think she went to her mom's. But Jack has
Oh,
been
wow.
part of, yeah, she's been a part of, he has been a part of the Gaia channel for quite some time. He's done over 32 episodes. Jack Carey has.
Yeah,
So
Jack has a lot.
yeah. So it's pretty intense. How
Yeah,
that hitchhiker effect works.
those guys at Skinwalker Ranch actually just messaged me on Instagram a couple weeks ago or something. Because I had told them I was interested in filming over there, but they have a contract with the History Channel right now, so
Yeah.
no one can film over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bum me out. Because I think we'd get a lot of action over there, being all that native land and stuff. And
Oh my God, I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would
I'm
be
positive.
something. But yeah, he said they had the History Channel contract right now, so no one can go film over there. So
Yeah.
kind of bummed about that, but
The History
in
Channel
time,
is
I guess.
providing some of the equipment, the film crew, and some of the expense for them to be able to do some of their experiments. There's
Right.
there's several sponsors to do that,
Oh
and
yeah.
one is the guy that owns the property. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a Oak Island type thing. Because
Except
when
those
we
guys
were,
Yeah.
actually
So
own the island, but
yeah, they own that parts of the island. Yeah,
no, they own the whole island actually.
Oh, wow.
Except for the properties like where the Noonans were,
right.
they let them have their property. But yeah, they own, I'd say 95% of the island anyway. So,
I knew that they had to get permission from the other family to be able
mhm.
to go investigate some of the areas that they had. And it took a while for them to get their stuff together, and then when they did, they had full access. So that
Yeah.
was good. It's a good trade out.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Well,
when
the
I was filming Repossessed with the History Channel, one of the guys that films for Oak Island, since they were on break, he came over and was filming with us. So he gave me a little bit of the information about how it was set up and about the exclusives that they have with the History Channel.
yeah, but
The
yeah.
History Channel
So
hasn't aired Repossessed in Canada yet, but it's come out on Hulu here in the United States.
That's
nice.
good. That's
it's
really
I am
real
good.
good.
really dark on this camera.
Yeah.
I was just telling her I'm really dark. You can't even see me. I'm like
I know she's
You
all
bet.
in
like
the
Miss.
shadows.
She's over like Miss Bright, like you're over here, like you're behind a shadow or something.
Night and day.
We're just called Drew the shadow person now.
He's a
I
big
am the shadow
guy.
figure.
Yeah, he's a tall guy. He's a big man
Right
compared to
on.
Leslie. So, what have you guys got planned for your channels now? I just subscribed to you. For those of you watching, All Things Paranormal with Leslie, and then 303 Paranormal with Andrew Gonzalez. Please go smash the subscribe button and watch their
Definitely,
content. They put a lot of effort into all that they do.
definitely go
Besides,
subscribe to it.
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we took a little time off because we've been just trying to get our careers in, order, and we just moved into a new house, and
Oh, how nice.
um yeah, so we just actually been trying to slow down a little bit and focus and really plan some cool stuff that we want to go
Right
do.
on.
So
We actually have a 2024 itinerary. So in March, we're going back to Colorado and we're going to
Ooh.
film back to Cheeseman Park. Our
Nice.
Okay.
first experience there, well, my first experience with the flashlight was phenomenal. I haven't dropped, so I had to start my channel over. Started my channel
Yeah.
over after a thing that happened in 2021. And so I have all my old videos still on private. Haven't uploaded them yet. But the flashlight, we like turn the flashlight on or off, and it would we have it yes or no questions, and the flashlight going on and off by itself for the first time. When I saw that, it's like wow. And then you see like this mist walking by, and my sister and
Nice.
I, what made us film, we're walking, and we felt like we were walking through people. It was just really, really cold. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, I never experienced that before, so we filmed it. I want to go back and refilm that. We want to film Riverdale Road, which is the most haunted road in the US, and it's in Colorado.
Oh my
And
Nice.
gosh. I have a
It's
thing for
scary.
haunted roads. I want to go.
Me too.
Yeah.
the Oxford Hotel. So that's three film spots or locations in Colorado in March. And then in May, we're gonna keep it a secret, but we're not, hopefully nobody hears. We're gonna do the Bonnie and Clyde that's here in Louisiana. Nobody knew that when they were, gunned down, that it's
I
here
do.
in
Yeah.
Louisiana,
Yeah.
about
Yep.
5 hours away.
Oh
I've
my
actually
gosh.
been.
Yeah.
I've
And
actually been
nobody
on
has
that
that on their
road.
channel.
And when I went there, I didn't have a camera on me at the time. I should have filmed, but what I picked up there, like I picked up all the deputies and their thought process before they came down the road. And
Oh
the
wow.
one guy's dad stopped his truck and acted like he had a breakdown. And as soon as he got past, they loaded up on. I think there was over 450 shots fired into the car alone.
I didn't realize that it was
Yeah,
that much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk
Well,
It's
you
about
can actually,
overkill.
unnecessary. That was
well, you can actually
unnecessary.
see the car. They've got the car is owned by a casino right on the California Nevada line,
We
just
we
inside
went there
California. Yeah,
We just
in
went and saw it.
Vegas.
Yeah, we
yeah,
just went and saw it about what,
nice.
January?
Yeah,
Yeah, so January of this year, we were filming. So one thing about being a YouTuber, we never film in order. You just film where
yeah,
you can,
sure.
and you put it
Yeah,
together as a
yeah,
video. So my sister had, last year for around Christmas, she goes, y'all want to go to Vegas? Because I've never gone. You want to go to Vegas for the first time, and visit some of these hot shots, for some B-roll clip for your videos, because the
yeah.
whole reason we want to go in May is because we want to go to the anniversary date of when they were gunned down. Because if you spirits replay, you
Nice.
guys know this, they replay their life the
Oh,
day that they passed.
oh yeah.
So we're like, what if we
Yep,
go, we dress up in the 1940s era, just he and I, we'll go in the daytime, do a daytime investigation, go at nighttime, we'll film, the gas station or whatnot. So when we had the opportunity to go to Vegas, we went there, we hunted down, they moved the car. We didn't know they moved
yeah.
the car from one building to the other. So we went to the original building in Vegas where they had the car, at a
Hmm.
casino that looks like it's about to shut down, to this
Yeah,
new improved casino that looks like it's like Jesse James Cavern, like the hideout,
yeah.
right? And we go in there and we film the car, and like, you can't step on the glass. So we had a bunch of people like, be my lookout, because I didn't come up here for no reason. I'm breaking the rules. I'm going over the glass. And I
Oh
did.
Lord.
And they're like, security's coming, security. I said, what are they gonna do? It's okay. So I would jump up, hurry up, film, jump down, go to another place in front of the car, jump up. I'm putting my camera in there so it didn't get the glare, and film around like on my B-roll.
Yeah, she don't
So
Right on.
listen.
when we actually do the Bonnie and Clyde, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be really good. So I can't wait.
Oh
Um,
my God, that's going to be
Yeah.
fantastic. Have you
I
ever
have
read the poems that Bonnie Parker wrote?
just online, just a
Oh
few
my,
of them online.
well, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm just going to tell you
No,
that
you're
I've been
fine.
reading her poems. My grandmother used to read her poems, and she's her being a paranormal investigator, also being a psychic, and then also true crime. Um, she said that the spirit of Bonnie Parker comes through her poems.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so
There's one
wonderful to
that
read the poems.
that's
Hopefully
what
you
I
get
was
a better
about to say.
response.
Uh-huh. It's the one
Yeah,
that
we could read her poems while we're there.
is called The Trails In by Bonnie Parker. And it's just unbelievable. Okay, I'll just read the first two. Okay,
Yeah,
you've read
yeah.
the first two little lines. You've read the story of Jesse James, of how he lived and died. But if you're still in need of something to read, here's the story of Bonnie and Clyde. Now, Bonnie and Clyde are the Barrow Gang. I'm sure you all have read how they rob and steal, and those who squill are usually found dying or dead. And she goes on explaining how he
Goosebumps.
was. Yeah, I mean, it's right about there is when you start to feel her. And they knew that they would never be free, and they started having stuff pinned on them that they didn't do. She
Oh yeah.
addresses it in here, and then she goes on to explain we'll never be free. We'll never have our freedom. And at the very end, she talks about feeling a submachine gun's rat tat tat. When you get to that, if you don't feel her, go back and just try it again. But it was uncanny how she was able to pull all that together. But it's the
Yeah, that's cool. That's definitely something we'll try and do. That she
Yep.
wants to go there, and then just a couple other. Where else do you want to go?
Going back to the whole Bonnie and Clyde, it's funny how she mentions Jesse James when the Vegas
Yep.
casino that holds the car now looks like something. If you ever been
Yep.
to Missouri with Jesse James hideout, I went to the cavern when I was 17 because I was, living there at the time because I finished high school there and
Hmm.
came back here, and I don't know, Jesse James hideout, it's always been, I think I go back and look at my pictures. So it's like it's some kind of calling, and I never
Yeah.
knew why. I'm like, push it to the side, push it to the side, push it to the side. But for her to go and mention him, it's all connected,
Yeah.
and that's pretty
yeah.
cool. I don't know what made me tell him, I think we should do the Bonnie and Clyde investigation, and he's like, I've always wanted to do that, and then I looked it up and it just so happened to be here. I was like, dude, what are we doing? Before we go in
Yeah.
any other state, we need to make sure we do stuff here. And we go, on YouTube, put it in a search bar, and no other YouTuber's done it yet, so we were waiting to grow a little bit to do it, but now we're like,
Sure.
2024 feels like a really good year. We're just gonna go for it
Go for it.
Now,
despite
Yeah.
the audience that we have or don't have.
tell me a bit about the haunting in the Grace Cemetery with 87,000 views, which was 11 months ago. I mean, you're building pretty crazy.
Yeah, that one's taking off now. It's funny how YouTube works. We have videos that don't go anywhere, some that just take off out of nowhere. So Grace Cemetery is located in St. Francisville, Louisiana. And most people, they want to go to the Myrtles
Yeah.
plantation. Let's go to Myrtles, let's go to Myrtles, hoping to see Chloe or whatnot, but they don't know the actual history of it. So
No.
I was a
Exactly.
huge history buff in high school. So is my mom and my aunt. So it runs in our family, it's in our blood. And to know ghosts, you got to know your history as well.
Oh God. Yes.
Yeah.
But every um every owner of the plantation that owned the Myrtles is buried in that cemetery. And you have the Leaks and you have the Winners. They're two different families. So we went there, and it was broad daylight. It was right when I first started building YouTube. This is the very beginning. All the videos you see on my channel now is from 2019. That's how behind I am on. I'm slow dropping. I'm slow dropping for a reason because I want them to tell a story. But we go there, and my sister, I read past, she reads present and a little future, and we're hot. We all have our hair up. Like I was in between of letting mine down on film, but when we weren't on film, I put it back up because I have to be camera ready. And when she took her hair and put it back up, she had four fingerprints, like this her shoulder, and like someone touched her from behind. Like if I went behind her and I touched her like this, and it said
Hmm.
Sky, you have four, like a handprints, four fingers in the back of your shoulder, like somebody touched you and burnt
Yeah.
their fingerprints in you.
Oh my
And
God.
she's like, I said, did you scratch yourself? But if she would scratch herself, the fingers would go down this way. And they
Yeah.
weren't. Watch Drew touch my shoulder. They went
Yeah.
up this way. So
Hmm.
that would have to indicate that somebody, one of us would have to touch her. But my mom and I were side by side, and my sister and my film partner Sam were walking in the front. I noticed it, and I was like, and so we were just pressing to see if it would make a red mark and nothing. And I was like, wow, you see this on TV all the time, people getting scratched and marked. And we were just at the grave asking questions. And the reason I stepped back off of film for a second, you see a lot of my sister in the picture, was because I'm like, they don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to you. And we felt like that my sister had a strong connection. Maybe in her past life, she was possibly part of that life. We're not
Yeah.
sure yet. We're definitely, her and I are planning a trip to go back to rent Chloe's room. Just, people started calling us paranormal sisters on my channel. And like when we're together, things, won't appear to me, but they'll appeal to her. And I like that. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just go figure this thing out. And we went to Grace Cemetery before with someone that lives in Florida, and he's like, you know about the wizard's grave that's way in the back of the cemetery. And it was ducked off. I had no idea anything about it. And we go in there and we don't know if it's a wizard. I mean, anybody could say anything, but the things that we got from, the spirit box, it was definitely not so kind. Maybe a witch or someone that dabbled into the occult back in the day, and that's why their grave is ducked all the way off by a tree. It's a nest. Like the tomb's actually off of it. You can uncover it, and giant spiders were coming out of it. We have all this on film too, because
Oh my
I have it on
lord.
there twice. I have it on there twice, but the one with the specific one, if you go on my channel and you see the haunting of Grace Cemetery,
Yeah.
it's me with, the curly hair, what I said, the ghost touches my sister. So it says ghost touches my sister. That's the one that was like just mind blown. And we're like, wow, we really got this. Like I was taking pictures and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna upload the pictures to it because the cameras weren't rolling at the time. And it was her just talking to the owner. So we think maybe
Wow.
John Leake, he had he attached himself some kind of way to my sister and maybe was following her through the graveyard and touched her, like imprinted on her in some kind of way.
Wow. That's really cool. I'm picking up
Yeah.
on some of that too. Oh, oh, oh.
Uh,
Blaine, you got to go to their. She's got another one that's really cool. Ghost of the Mausoleum, and
oh.
she's got. It's a cool one. Now I'm bringing that up for a reason. I have a friend that lives in New Orleans. His wife works um, in the French area. Okay, she's a witch, and he is a bee charmer. And since Katrina, they've been rounding up bees. I mean, he's got quite a business. But with Katrina blowing everything around, the bees ended up in some of the mausoleums. And he's been rescuing them, getting them back where they need to be.
Oh
And
wow.
One of those
she
bees.
has bumblebees, yeah, honeybees. And they use the honeycomb wax for their spell work because it's hallowed ground.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Wouldn't
wow, I
it
never
be
knew that.
cool? Yeah, wouldn't it be cool for you to have something like that? It could be a trigger item. You might need it for something,
Mm-hmm.
to seal something or to unseal something. You never know. But since he's right there, I need to connect you guys. I don't think he's ever been
Yes.
outside of Louisiana, this guy. you know?
I'm very, very interested. It sounds like some of the work that I could do.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
very into the on
she's
that
old
side.
fashioned. Yes, she's old fashioned when it comes to the supernatural work, and Mama Jenny was a lot like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, my grandmother would have loved you. She's
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing
Oh,
her pretty bad. She passed away a year ago this month, so but
our
she was my
condolences.
everything. Thank you, thank you. I was able
I'm
to hear
sorry
from
to
her
hear
last
that.
night.
Yep.
Yeah,
But it's not like
Yeah.
she's gone because her grandmother comes and talks to me all the time, and my dad goes to talk to her. So,
yeah, yeah. Yep.
That's
I was able
amazing.
to talk to him shortly after he passed because he didn't get to talk to me before. And so he was introducing himself like a good gentleman, southern gentleman. So it was nice. I really enjoyed um getting to talk to him. You know what? Andrew, this is crazy. I was going through looking for your stuff. I want you to know that you were saying something about televisions for sale, and an ad for television just popped.
See?
You were
Yeah.
so
What'd I tell you?
right. Oh my God.
Excuse
And
me,
I
sir.
was saying,
Remember
I was
this.
talking about Skinwalker Ranch, and it popped up right behind
Yep.
the TV. And I'm like, they're so
See?
listening.
Dude,
They
it's
are
like everything.
listening.
We know they are. That's why I always like, hey, if you want to give me the lottery numbers or tell me where I can find money, pop that up on my screen. Then I'll believe you're there, you know. But I know
Don't
I
Treasure
waste
do it.
my
I do it.
time.
maps.
I do it sometimes just to aggravate them, and I'll just say something off the wall stuff like ping pong balls, and I'll get stuff for ping pong balls.
Yeah.
Wow, my
Coca
goodness.
Cola, I've got
I
those
had to go
pop
get
up
him.
before.
Hey.
Oh, you got the
You,
kitty. Hi, kitty.
Yeah, his name's Niggy's purring. So we have a screen porch. He doesn't go
Oh, nice.
outside, but I've
What
had him for
kitty?
6 years,
Right
and
on.
he's purring a lot. He was meowing to come in,
Oh,
and
he
right when you
wants us
start
to be
talking
on
about like
TV too.
witches and bees
Yeah.
and stuff,
your
Yep.
little
I
familiar
always
shows up.
Yep.
he
Sure
is
does.
my familiar, and I said that you had to been human in your past life because he's connected to me emotionally.
Oh,
He
of
could be
course he is.
nowhere near me, and if I'm sad, like I
Yep.
cry, by silent cry, like not tears won't actually come out.
Yeah.
He'd just come by me, like
Of
he
course.
knows,
He knows.
and he tries to open doors, and he hugs me. I've never had a cat hug me before,
Yeah.
so I'm like, why does he want to come in? Something he knows I don't know. You guys start talking about
Wow.
the
Very, hey, your
wax.
cat's very in tuned. Very
So,
in tune.
Andrew, I'm looking at your channel now. I started over there, bounced over to Leslie, and now I'm back to you. Wow, what's this about? Doing a you were exploring and you found a body? Is that true? I didn't
Well,
get to watch it all.
we really couldn't say much about that.
Uh-oh. Well, let's don't then. Everybody that's watching, go to 303 Paranormal and subscribe. He's got more than one channel, and so does she. You guys.
We were allowed to
Well, we had to call the police after we ended the video, and they ended up demolishing that part of it. So we filmed there a few times. We went there recently, last week. It's called the General de Gaulle Manor, or what he calls D Block, because it was really 90s. It was a lot. It was very
Okay,
hood.
okay.
Streetwise, where you could think of anything from, illegal dealings to the women,
excuse me.
selling things on themselves. And
Yeah.
it was very run down.
Sounds like the old Ninth
So
Ward.
when we went
It
there,
sounds like the
people
old
go and
Ninth
throw the
Ward.
trash. Yeah,
Sorry.
the
Mhm.
Ninth
I'm tr-
Ward.
Was it the
We're
old
sorry.
Ninth
cleaning up.
Ward?
We're
Is that what
cleaning
it
it up.
was?
It's where the New
Okay.
Orleans Saints first stayed when their team was built
Before it went
Yeah, no.
run
before
down.
it got ran
Yep.
down
Became
Yep.
project.
in the 50s
Gosh,
or
Yeah.
60s,
guys.
whatever.
I heard now it's like a little yuppie place. They're
So
building it all up nice and stuff, and all the yuppies are moving in there, and the millennials. And
No, it looks like The Walking Dead lives there.
yeah, everything's so
oh, so-
overgrown. So they demolished that
Whoa.
part of the building,
oh
and
yeah,
then we went to the other side where the other building's still standing. And of course, now they have no trespassing signs or whatnot. But when we see entry, we go in
Yeah, and
anyway. Like we're not doing any harm. So we ended up making the video that we just did last week, Urbex. There was nothing paranormal in there. Like, oh, well, this would be really cool for Urbex. We could throw that out there just to show people too. Like, just because of a place is abandoned doesn't mean it's haunted, and you're not
Right.
always going to find ghosts. But here, enjoy this piece of history that's now overgrown.
yeah, like I have tons of videos where nothing's happened. I'm not gonna say something happens everywhere I go because it doesn't.
Yeah, but as many people as lived and died, the chances are, especially with your abilities and hers, I'm
I
I'm more
mean,
inclined to think, yeah, maybe.
yeah, we
oh no,
just
I can't.
sometimes we get or captivated with like how cool the art is and stuff, so we just
Oh
forget
yeah,
about making a paranormal video.
Yeah,
We
I
just start
get you.
filming.
I love abandoned places. I found a
Yeah, we do
really cool
too.
place. I'm going to go back in film, but oh my gosh, I found a really cool. It's a hotel, and it's this huge place that was built, and everybody felt like this was going to be the new retirement capital of the United States, and it was at one time number 7, and it's got 3 or 4, no 4 golf courses, and they built this big hotel and everything, and now they closed it and it's just abandoned. Unbelievable.
Oh,
So
Well,
wow.
a lot of places we go to, and like in Denver as well, and a lot of other YouTubers too have found bodies before. Because, a lot of transients hang out there. That's where they go do their thing, whatever their flavor is, and sometimes, they don't leave and
Yep.
because they do too much or whatever.
well,
And
they have it at risk of life. That's horrible. That's
and a
horrible.
lot of people are afraid to go into these abandoned places, so they never get found unless you get crazies like her and I that'll go into anywhere.
Which I'm more afraid of the humans than I am
Yep.
of
Yes.
the spirits. I'm like, dude, like, what if you have someone that's tweaking and try and come steal our equipment, or we're wrong place, wrong time, where you have gang things
Yeah.
going on, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
walk in like,
Yeah, like the video we have with Colin from the Paranormal Files at the Lindy
Yeah.
Boggs Hospital.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time we went there, there was just needles everywhere, people
Mhm.
everywhere, just,
passed
I
out.
mean, passed out, drugged out,
Oh my
some
goodness.
partying like crazy, some, money making things going on. It was crazy.
I
Well, we
see that
just
you
walk
guys
with.
have been to Memphis too. Blaine just
Oh,
got
yeah.
back from Memphis.
I
I'll have
love
to. Is
Memphis.
that's not far from you guys, is it?
No, 5-hour drive,
Okay.
like five, six, five and a
I
half.
have to go out there, so I'll let you know when I'm going. We can hang. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that's where we fell in love, pretty much.
We
Oh, there's
didn't
Yeah.
something
know.
magical.
So going back to our itinerary for 2024, so we
Oh yeah, yeah.
covered what we're doing in March. We covered what we're going to do in May. In August of next year, we're going to go back to Indiana for a little while and spend some time with another YouTuber we haven't met yet, and my old film partner. We're going to go different places, 100 Step Cemetery. He experienced, my film partner, he filmed something with hellhounds, and he's like, I'll
Oh,
never forget the smell, I won't forget anything. But when Drew and I met up there, August of 2020, and mind you, I couldn't stand him when I first met him. I'm like, oh, I'll film it, everybody but him, like, and I was
that's
very,
funny.
very vocal about it. He ended up coming through and being the only person there for me when I was going through a great deal of depression. And long story short, I ended up meeting up with him in Indiana. And when we were there, they rented the Airbnb. I didn't stay. I stayed, with my film partner and, a guy I looked at as my brother and his girlfriend. And we filmed there, and then Drew left, and he's like, well, we're going to go to Tennessee, and are you going to come? And I said, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, because I have my flight to go back to Louisiana in 3 days. Well, a fight ended up breaking out between the boy I called my brother and his girlfriend. They were just bickering. So now I'm not for this. So I ended up, driving. I called Drew and said, hey, look, getting my rental car. I'm heading to Tennessee right now, and I'll come there and film with you. He was like, great. And we went to this asylum. There was a group of us.
Yes, I
We
saw
went to
that.
this, yeah, to this asylum. And an asylum, I took his film partner at the time, and he and I, because I like to stay secluded and I don't like big groups. And I just took his film partner at the time, and we went to the morgue part. Well, what was left of it, because it was just disgusting and flooded, and you couldn't get in there. We couldn't even roll the thing out to lay in there because there was no, thing to lay in. It was just the frame. And they were on the whole east wing, upstairs on the very top floor. And on the camera, we're going through it, and John and I, we hear what sounds like Drew talking and the group talking, and I'm like, Drew, Drew, Drew. Every corner we turn, Drew, Drew. I'm like, no, Drew. So, and we hear the names coming up on the spirit box. So we turn off the spirit box, and we just kept the camera on to keep rolling, and for light, and just in case something popped out. And we
Right.
kept hearing them shuffling around and this and that, and I was getting frustrated. It's like I hear him, but I don't see him. I didn't know why. They were hearing the
Wow.
same thing. They were hearing John and I, John, Leslie, John, Leslie. So,
Nice.
Oh,
in the
wow.
end, we heard them, and I have this on my camera, but this is not on my paranormal channel. This is on the life of Drew Sleep. John and I said, look, I don't know if that's really them are coming or not because we're hearing talking and shuffling still. So come on, let's hurry up and go hide in this dark room, and we'll do a jump scare, and we'll catch that on camera. Because if it is them, it'd be a good jump scare. If it's not them, then this is going to be really cool that we caught something that's not there. We did a jump scare on him. He got mad. And he was so mad.
Oh,
What are y'all doing? And what the heck are y'all doing? And stop messing around, blah, blah, blah. So we stopped rolling for a second. And I was like, well, why do you have an attitude? Because, I just met him. So, I'm playful. Like my personality is playful. And we were
right.
hearing what we thought were you, but we wasn't you. And I just did the jump scare because I wanted to see, if it was really you guys, I'm gonna jump scare y'all, or if, nothing was there and like, oh crap, this, and then we get scared because, jump scare backfired. And he explained to us, and when his video came out, it all made sense. And when my video came out, it all made sense. While we were split up, completely different wings, we were on the way bottom in the basement, John and I in the morgue, and he was way upstairs on the other side of the wing. They were hearing us. They were
Oh
hearing
my
mine and
God.
John's name speaking like us, like we had doppelgangers. And we were hearing that too. So when we
Mhm.
met up and the jump scare came to happen, we were frustrated because like the spirits were leading us to each other because we met up, and he's like, we were hearing y'all and y'all were hearing us, la la la. And then the rest of the trip, Drew and I were just frustrated, frustrated, frustrated. And come to find out, he told me right before I left, he's like, I'm frustrated. I didn't get to film with you. I don't have you on my camera, so I'm frustrated too. And I said, I love the paranormal. I do. But for me to say, I just want to go home. I don't know why. He's like, yeah, me too. We didn't know that it was the spirits connecting us together because we were
Oh,
supposed to be
wow.
together.
Yeah.
And so we've been talking about going back, in August, like, a year to the date of, when we get together. But the second time we went back to Illinois, which was like 2 months later, the same place that we filmed, or not Illinois, Indiana, the same place that we filmed at, we ended up getting in a really bad car wreck
Oh
because
God.
my film partner called out the goat man, which is really demon, and the car got wrecked, and it was a spiritual thing, and the car being wrecked, we're like, dang, kind of. We don't know if we want to go back or not, but we do because we like retracing the steps of where we went. So instead of going back to Indiana, we just like, let's just go back to Tennessee where it started and then there was no car wreck. So when we went there, he wanted to go to take a tour in Elvis's house, and they don't allow you to
Yeah.
film or
Yeah.
nothing. But we went just for the adventure, and we went back to the asylum. And that asylum's pretty wild. We heard music the last time we went, and nobody else was there.
Women talking, screams, all kinds of stuff.
So when we did this investigation yesterday, um, we had this app on our cell phone going. One of my students did. And David, I hope you're still watching the show tonight because I'm talking about you again. So he had this app on, and it gives you like one word, maybe. A whole sentence rolled out. Hi, my name's Anna. I protect this place. We're like,
Oh,
what the
wow.
heck? The whole sentence came rolling out. And then I said, where are you? And a little while later, she said, I'm standing among you. And I put my hand out, and I'm telling you, I felt 3 fingers on my arm. And then whenever she kind of pulled it, I could feel cold, like a cold spot. And I said,
Mhm.
Anna, is that you? She said, yes. Like I was like,
Oh,
oh my god, that's so crazy. And the I knew the place was haunted. I mean, there's hundreds of people buried there. A lot of people thought that they were slaves that were there. There's French Huguenots, and I don't know why so many don't have a tombstone. I mean, I can see they're there, and they've got little placards, but there's no actual tombstones. I don't know why. I'll have to post something soon, kind of like you. I've got stuff, stacked back, and I'm going to release them along. But and then she said I didn't die. I was called here. And the legend is that a troll, because the French Huguenots, came from France, trolls originate in France, and that there was a troll that actually protected the cemetery and the wall that's around the cemetery, which contains the original founding members of the French Huguenots that settled in South Carolina. They settled in two places, this location and then in Santee area near the beach, near Myrtle Beach. And they didn't last. They all died, and that was the end of that. But this one continued, and they had their own church and everything. But yeah, she said, I didn't die. They called me here, and I protect this place. It's just crazy how the whole sentence came rolling out. Got it on video. Absolutely insane. We heard something rustling through the woods more than once, and there was a huge gate there. It's a super thick iron gate, and it's black. I mean, it's like 3 inches thick, like that, and it had a Grim Reaper on the door. And
Oh wow.
yeah, somebody kept messing with it. I heard that it had been taken off and taken to one of the historical societies. Then I heard that it had been stolen. So I don't know where. I just know it's not on the door. Wherever it is, it's not on that door. But we had one of the students stood up where the Grim Reaper was, and it on the thermal camera, he looked like he had wings that folded out. And he
That's
said
cool.
yes, is I'll have to send you pictures. And when he came down, he's like, that was pretty cool. I felt like people were looking at me more than just you guys. And then he said, full disclosure to the class and everything, I'm just letting you know, he races. He races. And he said, I'm having a serious adrenaline rush right now. I feel like I've just gotten into a fight and I'm just standing here. And he was like, feel my heart. It was racing. Da 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 da. And I was like, Stephen, man, are you okay? He said, this is intense. I think I found what I'm looking for. And I
Nice.
was like, wow. Because, he's
that's
raced. He's
crazy.
been a fighter.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of different things. Yeah. This was the one thing he'd been looking for. He had questions. He wanted answers. He wanted answers. And he joined the class late, but I'm like, just come on. Don't worry about it. But that's why I teach, because we're trying to make theories. We're testing theories. We're doing more than just chasing Casper. We're doing a lot more. And so
Oh yeah.
I'd love for you guys to come into the class whenever Matt and I are teaching. I have Blaine in too. Tell them about some of the things that you've experienced traveling and investigating. I think they would love to ask you some questions,
Yeah.
especially being in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Oh
that
And
yeah.
you
sounds like
know,
fun.
yeah, that'd be awesome because you know what? Like, I'm not complaining, but I am complaining because I've caught some of the best evidence that I've ever seen on anyone's channel on TV. I've never seen anything like it, and I've never faked anything um, or edited it in. I have shadow
You're speaking
figures,
my language.
apparitions.
Yep. Exactly.
You
The
know,
demon.
the demon I caught on film that's on the Travel Channel right now. I'm on the Ozzy Osbourne show
No
on the Travel
way.
Channel.
You're on
Yeah,
with
No. Oh what?
I'm on.
I love that. I think they do such a
Oh,
good job with that.
yeah, I'm on the Osbournes
Yes.
one, I believe.
Y'all are such
That's
badasses. I
cool.
told you you would love these guys, didn't I? I
And
Oh
told
then,
yeah.
you.
so yeah, I caught a demon on film in Evergreen, Colorado, and well, not Evergreen. It was basically, I don't know, it was almost Evergreen. I can't remember the exact city, but it was somewhere up in the mountains a little bit. And we ended up having exorcist James Long, Bishop James Long, the
Going
you
very
guys
well.
see, from Ghost Adventures and all that.
Oh
He's
yeah.
such a
He
sweet
actually
man.
sent him the footage, and he flew out there immediately to come film with me and do an
Oh,
exorcism on
Right
this
on.
house.
And when they did
Yeah.
the exorcism, he posted the video like a couple years ago. This all happened in 2020.
Mhm.
And someone
dang.
commented, and he didn't notice. We have an eye for editing, and we
That's
watch
when
our
we
videos
met,
after we
wasn't it?
edit.
20, was it
Mhm.
2020 when we met? Because everybody was running
Yeah.
around with masks and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so
And
crazy.
they're like, oh, and they put the stamp mark. We have to go back and show you. I have to text it to you. And you can see like the demon in a black shadow, like the head was like
Wow.
this, and it looked like a serpent floating in the air like a snake
Yeah.
leaving the presence of the house or the
Mhm.
property. I'm like, wow! And someone had pointed that out in the comments.
Yeah. The demon that I
Exactly.
caught coming out the wall, came out on command. I felt something standing there. First, I saw a big giant orb coming through my camera. And then I was like, show yourself to my camera. Next thing you know, it just comes out the wall. You know,
Nice.
this bright, glowing eyes, hair look like twigs and
Yeah.
sticks, just super jet black and gray. Um, and so that when I sent him that, that's what made him say, okay, I got to get over there.
Yeah.
And
Now, James Long,
that's what.
I'm the, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, he knows
No, I'm the
James.
only. I was the only pagan ever chained by James Long to do a Roman uh, exorcism. I taught him how to do a removal in the native form of Cherokee, and he taught me how to do it in the Catholic way. So, yeah, I'm the only one
Wow.
he's ever trained that is a pagan. The first one he's ever trained that didn't have any Christianity beliefs at all. But it
Yeah,
worked out good because I'm one of the ones he'll call, like myself. He'll call Bill Bean. He'll call Jeff Leeper, which are both friends of ours. And
Yeah, they have
we've done
been
a
on the
lot of
show
cases.
recently.
but yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
and
that's like,
Margie's watching, by the way. Margie, you remember her? She was selling her books when I was selling mine there. She
oh
kind of
yeah,
gave
yeah,
me,
yeah.
yeah, she's
Hey,
watching. She says, "Hey,
Margie,
from
I
South
do remember.
Carolina." Woo!
Hi.
But yeah, we so like that catching demons, catching full apparitions walking by, poltergeist activity, just things that I've never seen anywhere, and I like feel like I don't do it for the recognition, but I'm like, nobody's watching these things, and try and put this good stuff out there for them to see, like that it's real because you want people to believe.
Yeah, sure.
I want people to know there's another side and it doesn't end here because there's a lot of people that want to take their own selves out and do
Oh,
things to themselves and don't,
no.
like
No.
there's consequences to that. There is another side.
Well, the problem I have with that, guys, is me and Lee both have talked to people have committed suicide. They're not
Yes,
happy at all, and they're regretful of what they did because now they know not only they hurt themselves, but they hurt their families, friends, everybody's had contact with them, and now they got to bear your selfishness, is what I call it. Because I don't want anybody to commit suicide, but and I'm a big advocate about veterans and other people committing suicide. Talk to somebody on it. But yeah,
Right.
they're not happy. They're not happy at all.
For sure. Yeah.
hmm
My couple of my good friends, well, one of them was my best friend, and a couple other ones have done that. So, yeah, I know it sucks. One of them follows me around on my investigations all the time.
Oh
That's
wow.
good.
You
Yeah.
That's good.
3 videos with the bishop, right?
Yeah.
You can't
Well,
find the one where
That's
it came out.
it's alive.
I was doing
So
some
I got
readings
like
for a friend,
but yeah, but
and
yeah, and then going back to the bishop, I have
yes,
actually 3 videos I've made with him. Um, you know, one where he's just talking about like I told him thank you for coming to help me, this, that, and the other, and I'm sorry I'm not a big TV station like or a TV show like
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures or something like that. And then he was like, well, He's like, those guys are the actors, and the true paranormal investigators are you guys out there helping people, which I thought was
Mhm.
pretty cool for him to say on live
Yeah,
camera.
yeah. James is awesome.
So, yeah, he's a really good person. I like him. But yeah, I don't know, just catching so much stuff. Like I told you, it was it's another thing I've caught. Money falling out of the sky on top of my truck and falling on me. Coins.
What?
Yes,
Where's that at?
coins
I want to
falling
go
from
go. I want to go hunt with you.
Yeah.
It was the Budweiser. We call it the Budweiser farm, the Budweiser Poltergeist house. I don't remember what I named it, but
Yeah.
so the Budweiser plant that's in Fort Collins, Colorado, they have a farmhouse on there, and it's very very haunted and poltergeist activity, shadow figures, children running around. I'm telling you, the coins, literal coins, money, change was
Oh,
falling from the
wow.
sky onto the truck. Bam, bam, bam.
Well, here is the exorcism with Bishop James Long on I see it right here on your channel. For those of you watching, please just do yourself a favor. 303 Paranormal on YouTube. Get in there and smash some like buttons and subscribe. He's
Please,
he's
thank you.
even he's even in here with his he's a butcher, so he's in here doing his trade and first passion a butcher, second ghost hunter. There's things here about the poltergeist caught on camera, and you're talking about the Budweiser. Wait a minute, it's coming up. The Budweiser farm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the door gets slammed, you know, you film it slamming shut. Here's the Home to Vampires. There's just, everything in Louisiana. You're right.
Oh
Film
yeah.
where you are for a while. Just cover it all. Is the Riverdale Road the most haunted road that you were talking about? Is
Oh
that the
yeah.
one you were talking about? Okay. Because
yes,
I see a
ma'am.
video there. That's cool.
Yeah, he filmed it. I haven't
Yeah,
yet.
I've got like 10 videos there. I couldn't stop going there. We have one of the loudest, most clearest EVPs I've ever heard on
A woman.
a woman following us. I was like, is there someone following us? Because I could feel her energy. I could feel her behind me. And
Hmm.
John's like, dude, there's something following us. And then and I was like, who's following us? And she says, come out, wherever you are. I'm following right behind you. And just
Oh
like almost
my
that,
I
God.
love it.
Woo.
In the midst of the girl.
and it's almost that loud.
That's perfect.
You wouldn't believe it. And then she says something else afterwards, and yeah, I have it all on there. And like the girl Sarah, she passed away. She was 15 years old, driving around three other people, and they were all drinking. They were all adults. They crashed and wrecked on Riverdale Road, and
Oh my
her
God.
spirit, Sarah's spirit, kept coming through to me a lot. And I think she was the one following us around most of the time. The little 15-year-old.
So,
It was crazy.
thank you all the people from Nigeria following us tonight. It means everything to me. And thank you for liking their videos and
Yes,
subscribing
thank
Thank
you.
and
you.
liking mine. That means a lot. This really is an international program. Also, if you
Yeah.
guys want to watch this again, you can either go to my YouTube or you can go to Blaine's. Mine is Family Spirit. Yeah, he's laughing. Family Spirit International on YouTube, or you can go to Blaine's Haunted Syndicate. But here's another way: if you don't are if you're not a fan of streaming on YouTube, watching stream videos, you can go to Roku and look up Family Spirit International, and we
Yep.
are on there. You're among the 500,000 that follows us on there. So, a lot of ways to see us tonight, and I'm just loving all of this. I've missed you so
I
much.
do.
I didn't know how much until now here you are, and I realize
Yeah.
gosh,
I, see, I
it's
want to
doing a
find
lot.
out what's the funniest EVP you guys have ever caught. I've got one. I'll tell
Oh
you when you're
Lord.
done.
Let's see, a silly one.
Just funny
And by
that
the way,
made you
we
laugh.
did miss you too. I told you she never takes that ring off.
Yeah, we do miss you.
Oh, I
But
miss you too.
okay, So for mine,
I don't remember.
my funniest, his friend comes through all the time, so he has a lot. But for me, I have this one, it's my video. Let me look at my videos. I can tell you the title. So on my channel, on All Things Paranormal Official, it's my second biggest video. It's called Haunted Cemetery with Lafayette. Ghost yells at him. Uh, in the end of the video, so we go to the cemetery in Lafitte, and he wanted to be called Lafayette, like the little vampire show. I think it was True
True
Blood.
Blood, baby. Yes.
Yep.
Love it.
And True Blood, and he's like, call me Lafayette, introduce me as Lafayette. And I bring all people diverse on my channel, and I love this, so people are gonna love you. So, he's doing his catwalk in the intro, and I bring him there. He's like, I'm a real ghost hunter. Got real into it. And at the end, like, he and I don't like snakes. And now you have the light
Is
on.
that better?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then he really didn't like being dark.
I know, you guys made me feel.
So I bring him there, and at the end of the video, the spirit, I have the spirit box in my hand, and it goes, he's stealing. Because he's mixed. He's mixed. And the ghost goes, you there, get out. He's stealing. And so Lafayette's
I didn't know
character,
you were mixed.
he
I
goes,
didn't know that. Yeah.
no. Oh, baby, I don't have time to play. And then the video cuts out. We did do an outro, but we weren't recording the outro. We thought we were recording the outro. But we were just too busy at the end, when the video just cut out, laughing at the part that I'm like, hey, they really did say he's stealing. Really did say he's stealing. Well, I find out later that cemetery, of course, is privately owned. We always go at nighttime, because a friend of mine, Rana, that got me started with the channel, she has friends that were buried back there. So you have to either know somebody that's buried back there to go back there, or you get trespassed.
Ooh, yeah.
And when we went, after a while, it wasn't until this year I found out that it's an all white cemetery, and that they were all racist. So now
Oh
it
my
makes
God.
sense.
It's not
Yeah.
funny, but it is.
I messaged Lafayette and his real name's David, and they call him David too, and throughout the video, and it says David Vessel. And I messaged him. I said, "Look, our video hit big. We have 400,000 views now, and we can never go back there again because we were talking about meeting up again." And I said, we're not gonna go back there because it's all white dominated. There's races. We can't go there. And he's like, oh, honey, I have no problem going there talking to racist dead people. Put them in their place. So this is gonna be funny. This is gonna be really funny. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Well,
that
he
was
was the trigger item then, right?
yeah, he sure everything
Yep.
was fine, cool, calm, collected until the very end. We were literally walking, to go in another area and do our outro. And during that time, we're holding the spirit box still because he's wanted to keep the spirit box playing, and it came out clear as day. He's stealing. And I was like, what?
Yeah, for
Oh my
me,
gosh.
I'll have to be honest with you. I really haven't had nothing. There's always been real serious stuff, like the Oxford Hotel video I have where I caught the woman's apparition walking across the laser grid. I have the spirit box on, and the man's telling her, "Hurry up, clean up the blood, get more towels," and like
Oh
they're
my
screaming.
God.
Yeah, they're arguing back and forth at each other. I've been called a stupid bee a few times.
Oh
I've been
my
called a lot of
goodness.
names, but
No,
nothing
your
ever
funniest
funny.
one. So his old film partner that you see
I
on the
really don't
channel
remember anything.
with John, his old film partner John. That's only that Drew started out doing the channel with. There, so John is a male, and they were like, because he has long hair, and
Paints his
he
nails and
yeah, he
stuff.
paints his nails, and he's different. And in the spirit, because we were watching his videos when he first got here, and I was like, it was funny because the spirits, and he didn't catch it in his video, what we did after, was calling them, excuse me, ma'am, sir, ma'am.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
that was.
They're like, lady, shut up.
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
That's funny.
yeah.
Yeah, they were saying,
I
"Ma'am, shut up."
investigated
Yeah,
with
they didn't.
I
He
have a
confused the spirits.
oh wow. They didn't know what to say. I
Yeah.
investigated in a church with a guy that when he dresses, in drag, he's a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful ghost investigator and he's a wonderful performer and just hilarious. Love this person so much. Monique is her name. And so here we are in this church, and these spirits are just not having it. Not having it. Everything that could be said to poor Monique was said to her. And Monique was like, "What did I ever do to you?" And then finally they started realizing that, what they were doing, and they started warming up. But she was saying, "I didn't realize that I was going to be the trigger item tonight, but I certainly am." And but there was one, poor country person that was in spirit, just thought Monique was beautiful and was trying to find
Oh,
ways
well.
was flirting with Monique, and I was just like, "You're the star tonight, Monique." She said, "I just
Yeah.
can't believe this." But we had a really good time there too.
Yeah,
Um,
That's cool.
My funny one. It happened in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. There was an old insane asylum up there called Bryce's. It's been closed down for years. The shell of it's still up. Well, right next door to it, there was an old convalescent home that the state was actually going to rebuild and make it apartments for senior living. Well, we had investigated the other place for about 8 hours, and I just wanted to sit down for a minute. There was a big stack of wood sitting on this sidewalk, and I was like, "Oh, we're going to take a seat." So about 10 of us sat down, and right before I sit down, I hear in my ear this old man going, "It's not going to hold you, dumbass." Well, it gets better. Luckily, I was recording on it because you can hear him say that. You hear us sit down, hear the wood just give out from under us. Bam, boom, bam. Old man started laughing. "I told you, dumbass."
oh my God.
That's still my favorite
Funny.
EVP ever.
Oh,
Oh,
since you're in Alabama,
yeah.
Drew and I wanted to go to that cemetery. I think I might still have it screenshot on my phone. You know, it's like the Devil's Playground where children are supposedly
Oh,
over
the
there. You know what I'm talking
children's
about? It's not
playground.
far
That's
from Birmingham.
Yeah, it's up in Huntsville actually, and it's called the Children's Cemetery. They actually have a playground on that cemetery.
Um, I thought it was something like let me see if I have it saved on my phone still.
It's in Alabama.
Yeah, it's in Alabama.
Yeah, there is one in Huntsville that's called the Children's Cemetery with like I said, it's got a playground on the cemetery. There are several other places that have a lot of children buried from orphanages and stuff like that in Alabama.
What
I
about
think that was
that asylum? That asylum you mentioned, you said the shell's still up. Is it just like the walls, or you can still walk through it and stuff?
right now. There's nothing. They've completely tore down the whole building. There's no remnants
Oh,
of it at
okay.
all. And I think they've already put like a shopping center or something on that property now. So that sucks, but yeah, all
It
the good
does,
places.
because
Go
I'm
ahead.
always looking to do an abandoned place.
Maple Hill Cemetery.
Okay, yeah, I believe that is the one up in Huntsville. Hi, Ginger.
Yeah, Maple Hill Cemetery.
Wait a minute. Where did my dog go?
You're
Come back.
getting blurred out.
Oh, it's a dog.
Yeah, this is Ginger. There she is.
Now
Well, I tried to.
this is cool. I took Lee and her husband Matt to a cemetery in Shelby County, Alabama. It was a Confederate graveyard that on the battlefield. That's where they died. Well, in that place, there's also a family plot there, and they gave up their land. There's both sides buried there, because it was easier just to bring them all to one place. I mean, but yeah, we got northern troops talking with us. We had southern troops talking to us from there, and one of the coolest things that happened all night when we got ready to leave Me and Matt Lee had already about got to the truck and passed out because it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. We were tired.
Lee was through.
Lee was done.
Lee was through.
And as we're getting to the truck, we got two audible rebel yells that was just beautiful to hear because they know that we showed them respect to both sides and we didn't take
Yes.
sides. We just wanted to
No.
hear their stories. And so it was the
Yes.
coolest thing to have two rebel yells come out of a cemetery. And I can tell you this, where that cemetery is located, the closest house to this is at least 7 miles down the road. There's nothing behind it. It's all woods. I think the
Wow.
closest house. So you're out there in the middle of nowhere. So a lot of people that live up there don't even know that cemetery's there. That's pretty
Well,
bad.
I can tell you this. I had a time slip there, no doubt,
Yep.
because I
Mhm.
could see the wagon and I could
Yeah.
see the Confederate soldiers on this side and then the Union over here. And I was watching them put the bodies into the holes, digging the
Yep.
holes, and it was just god awful. And I could see the trail of blood, you know. I had it happen at Gettysburg too. I could see
Yeah.
that one of these barns had been it was a in Gettysburg, but it's where a battle had taken place, and I could see holes in the floor of the original boards that were there
Yeah.
in order to drain the blood because it was getting sloshy,
Hmm.
and it's just like I went back. I saw a little girl come out of the barn and she had on a little apron. She had on well, it was meant to be a blue dress, but it was covered in blood, and you could just see little patterns of blue. And she had a little apron on that was navy blue. Her
Hmm.
dress was kind of a royal, somewhere between a powder blue and a royal blue, and she had blonde curls, and she was running supplies back and forth. And it just happened, boom, and then it went, right back to today. But I saw her come running out, and
Yeah.
same thing happened at that cemetery. You could see how everything had been lined up, and I was just overcome. I
Hmm.
was like, I'm tired, I'm overcome, I'm through. So I was getting in the truck, and a breeze came from where the cemetery is, and it came up where we were parked, and I was standing on the running board of the diesel truck, and it kind of blew my hair back, and that's when we heard "yeehaw"
Yeah.
twice.
Cool.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was just them saying, "We're here. We're still here. Thank you for missing us. It's
That's
awfully
cool.
hard." All right, so I haven't done this in a bit, but I'm just going to go really quickly, and um, I just talk about different herbal remedies at certain times of the year. I just want to do a quick focus on basil. All right. Um, just because it is something that we put in food, and you can grow it in the summertime. That doesn't mean that you can't bring it inside. Because these are herbs that you can use throughout the whole year. You can chop the leaves and put them in an ice cube tray, and then fill it with water and freeze it, and put it in your drinks, and you can just eat it as the ice cubes melt. Reason why I like doing that is because basil can reduce fevers and relieve symptoms of colds and coughs and flu. I usually take basil
Okay.
and smash it and chop it real fine, and I just put it in with my salad. I make a basil tea with honey, not the haunted honey, just regular honey. But just go ahead and bring in your basil, or get some, since it's going to be discounted now. You can grow it inside. You can just get the seeds and grow it inside. But basil is your friend. I've seen some Asian recipes where the basil rolls, got the chopped vegetables and carrots and that kind of thing with the clear. It's like a wonton wrapper, but they're clear. It's made of rice, and you just lay the basil leaves in there and just do a roll up with it. It's fantastic. Do a nice soy sauce and white wine. Can't beat it for a dip. And you could just put basil in the sauce too. So basil's your friend. Don't forget about it. I know that we're going to end a little early. Um, I do want us to talk about how we could be contacted. And, if you have a teaser of anything that you want to talk about before we go, please give that. But I've got two blessings that I want one for you specifically and one for everybody. And because I wanted to do this for you before, and now I've got the chance to do it. So. How can people reach you? Also, I want to use this one as an encore if we are not going to go live. And if I keep it under a certain amount of time, then we can use it. Thank you, Kathy. She said she really enjoyed the show. Jay saying the
Thank
same
you, thank
thing.
you.
Thank you.
Ethereal Voices Paranormal EVP, thank you for watching. Margie,
Yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
all of you.
Gwen, we've had quite a lot of people come through. How can people reach you?
Us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Instagram. On Instagram. All things paranormal official. And Drew, my husband, 303 Paranormal TV. So our YouTube channel is the same name for everything. Facebook, Instagram, but mostly I respond faster on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's usually the way to go if you want to get a hold of us faster. And we've got investigations from Instagram. We've gotten, lots of people reaching out to us on there. And, I'm also on X and, we are on TikTok and, Facebook, like she said, all that stuff. So, but yeah, the quickest way probably is just, Instagram.
So,
Instagram.
Christopher, I'm going to bring you on. Thank you for giving us support and behind the scenes. He's been in and out, back and forth. He's been doing a lot of research too. Do you have any questions for them before they take off?
No, I don't. They were great. I can tell I am done well tonight.
Yes, you sound
Thank
fantastic.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
You all were great.
Mhm.
Thank you
They
so
are
much.
fantastic. This will be a great show we can play again. During a birthday when we're not going to do a show or during a holiday, we can replay this one. It's going to be great. I know everybody's enjoyed it.
That's exciting.
Yeah. All
We can
right,
do it again
Blaine.
sometime.
I would love
Yes.
it. Love to have you back.
Yes.
Blaine, tell them about your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I just started mine, so I'm a newbie. I've got one that's called the Haunted Syndicate, um, and it is under the umbrella of Family Spirit. So
Yep.
I've only got one video in there right now, but it's a pretty cool one of me being filmed on a spirit box fighting with a pedophile spirit. But it's actually pretty funny
Oh,
because I got the best of him. Yeah, it's the Haunted Syndicate, and I am going to be having more videos put up there. I just got to get where I get this show put on there as well, so we have that outlet as well. But yeah, it's the Haunted Syndicate. Please go like it, and I will have more videos on there. I promise.
So,
Spirits that
Awesome.
have done pederasty in a past life, they would not like me one bit
no,
because
they wouldn't,
I know
Christopher.
the history of the custom.
Oh my gosh. We're going to talk about that another night. Don't forget, okay? Christopher's he's a sweetheart. He's been helping me for years and years. I'm so happy to have his help. So
You
here's your
know why
blessing,
I
guys.
use that other word for it, right? Because I'm around Europeans all the time.
That's right. You're right. Okay, so I'm going to do the blessings because I've got to close out pretty quickly. All right, so this is for the two of you. From you comes the sun, which brings life to us all. And I ask that you have the sunshine on my friends here and bring a new life to them, a life without pain and sadness of the world. And to their families, bring your sun, for they also need your light for their lives. All right, so the next one.
Beautiful.
uh,
Thank you.
Okay, and so this one is a blessing. It's a wedding blessing. Okay. Above you are the stars, below you are the stones. As time does pass, remember, like a star, should your love be constant. Like a stone, your love should be firm, but be close, but not too close. Possess one another, yet be understanding. Have patience with the other, for storms will come, but they will go quickly. Be free and giving of affection and warmth. Make love often and be sensuous to one another. Have no fear, and let not the ways of the word of the unenlightened give you unease, for the Great Spirit is with you now and always. Thank you for
That's
watching, family.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm glad you like it. I'll send it over to you. Thank you for
Thank you. Thank
watching
you.
Family
Thank you,
Spirit
everybody.
International.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
night.
That was fun. Good night.